And people knowing of this, knowing that no more will Bedivere accept slights on his honour, he is now known as Sir Bedivere the Cruel. And he gets a new marker. He decides to separate himself from the Adet family. His new lineage name is Ethelhead, Sir Bedivere Ethelhead, and his marker is a head on a spear.
Oof. Pretty metal, or should I say metal?
And he has it like emblazoned on his chest piece and on his shoulder, and on his shield, and he's got a great sword and things like that.
I have removed the low-ranked marker from Sir Bedivere's description. He's now Sir Bedivere Ethelhead the Cruel, marked by a head on a spear.
And it is it is modelled after Ethel's head.
And
beheaded.
Ethel Stenson killed by Sir Bedivere.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
It is still spelt SR SER though.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
He still never learned to spell. He learned to murder people.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Learned to
just
murder
a
people.
Scary idiot.
He's just a scary idiot with known power. He still does not know how to spell the word sir.
Right.
But then again, nor do we. Because first name, second name is also a blithering
yeah. First name.
We also believe that it is spelt SER.
Yeah, you are like an idiot. You've only gotten a little bit more intelligent on your travels, and staying with the nobles, you've gotten a bit more wise and savvy.
We don't think it's SER because Bedivere told us. We thought it was SER before we left. Before we left the northeast. We're just like, this guy knows what's up. It's spelled SER. It's spelled SER.
Right.
The canonical reason we have sided with Sir Bedivere is Ethel thought it was spelled SIR.
Yeah, I'm really fuck that guy.
Fuck you. It's SER, dickhead. It's Sir. What connect set of letters makes? It's not seer, you buffoon, you clown, you shit
Anyway, right.
Stab.
Please roll.
Yeah, I've rolled and I got a positive 6.
When
if you get a positive 9
are you making sure to what roll did you just get?
I got a 9 on the D10 and a 3 on the D6.
Can you just are you using the Google one?
Yeah.
Okay, can you just change to like a dice roller website? Because I know the Google one isn't actually, it's actually a little biased. So.
Okay.
Just type in dice roller and just go to any dice roller website.
Virtual dice roller.
Should I add the memory? I'll add the memory of the murder.
Oh yeah, add the memory of the murder of it. Yeah. That's the beginning of your relationship with the Ethelhead family. So I'm just gonna let you roll again, just so we have a...
Right. I got a 3 on the D10 and a 1 on the D6, so that's 2.
Fine. Okay. You're trapped outside when the sun rises and take shelter someplace you are not supposed to be. Okay.
You keep going.
I guess we can't because we need you to write, so we'll just write.
No, I'll just write when I get back.
Okay.
Alright, when I get back.
Okay. You are trapped outside when the sun rises and take shelter someplace you are not supposed to be. Child discovers and befriends you. Create a mortal child character and record a humanizing experience. And we'll say it's been like another 10 years since we've known Thingy.
Okay. Mortal child character.
Yes, you know a child now. Ooh.
My instinct was to have this be the child of Sir Bedivere, but I feel like that's a bit...
Yeah. Don't let it be too closed. Let's meet some other people.
Yeah,
we've already only got one relation.
Well, let's see. A random child. The child's name is... The child's name is George, but without an E at the end. It's Georg.
Gorg. George spelled Jorj.
Yeah, sure. George. And the humanizing experience. Well, we took shelter somewhere we weren't supposed to. So where... We made a little makeshift sort of shelter out of like sticks and leaves in the woods.
Okay, well, what, so you went out one day on like a hunting trip at night? Like, because you're getting a bit more noble-ish.
Yeah.
And you
I
get
am back.
caught out. Okay, so the current story is we've got like trouble with how do I explain it? We went on like a hunting trip one night. Because we're getting a bit more wealthy now, aren't we? We're getting a bit more important. So this is 10 years later, by the way. And okay, yeah. So
10, 26. We are now 47 years old.
yeah. So then, after this, we have to we are caught out on an outside. We take too long on this hunting trip. We have to take shelter in the forest, and we meet a mortal child known as George, spelled Jorj.
George.
Like of the jungle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but he's George of the
jungle.
forest.
George of the... It's not really a jungle, but you get the picture.
Jorj of the Gungl.
George
Gungle.
of the Gungle. George of the Gungle.
Yeah.
So, child in the forest, George.
Yeah. Okay, and then what's this humanizing experience?
We make a little a little hovel out of sticks and leaves. Kind of like a tree house, but not in a tree.
Yeah, so you make a little den with this human child, remembering what it was like when you were younger. And what's the so that's it, you just remember what it was like when you were younger.
Yeah.
So now a question. Will we add this as like a long remembered memory?
Yeah, this is like the first of your humanizing experiences. So we'll have this as a humanizing experience column.
Oh, so there's a new column for this.
No. This is like a new memory,
Oh.
sorry. So yeah, meeting a child in the forest, building a little stick hovel with them, and having a nice
We now have
humanizing
6
experience.
memories.
Ooh, nice. And soon we'll be forgetting things.
Woo! Dementia. Anyway.
It's not even been like that long. It's like human age.
Yep.
So funny.
Yep.
I guess like multiple personality just sort of fucks you that way. Right.
It has been 26 years total.
Yeah. Right. Please roll, Alex.
I am now rolling the dice. God fucking damn it. That's 4. That's a positive 4. Please be smaller numbers on the D10, larger on the 6. Please, I'm begging. It's +4.
Your methods for acquiring victims are no longer effective. What has changed? Lose a resource and create a skill that describes your new feeding techniques.
So lose a resource. Not
So
like check,
you
lose.
were losing a resource is checking them. You check skills, you lose resources, but I'm just saying check for both because we'll want to know what you have at the end.
Okay.
So I guess instead of
just
checked on a resource, just write lost.
I'm writing lost on them.
Yeah, perfect.
That's LSOT. Great job. Anyway.
Sot.
So we've lost. I've realised we've lost our fork and the bowl that we made with the fork. Both
So
of them
your
are gone.
original plan was preying on just random people on the streets and stuff like that, but now the police are starting to patrol. Things are going a bit more properly. Your method for acquiring victims is no longer effective. How are you going to get blood now? What's the way to do that?
So we lose a resource and gain a skill.
I think you start pretending to be a noble doctor and you introduce the idea of bloodletting and say bad blood, and you're the one who starts this idea of bad blood in the body.
Now the thing I was thinking of that was funny is, for this, the instructions are lose resource, gain skill, yes?
Yeah?
I think
The
our
skill
old...
is describing your new feeding techniques, though.
True, but I think our old feeding technique was just bashing people over the head with the shovel and then drinking from them while they're unconscious.
Okay, yeah.
Our previous feeding technique was dung.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm thinking we lose the shovel. As the resource. And then I do like the idea of we come up with bloodletting. So the question is, would our skill be medical knowledge? Do we actually know anything about medicine? Did we pick this up from somewhere? Or is it charlatanry, effectively?
Oh, yeah, what, like fast talk, like lying. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's roll a
acting
D6.
effectively?
Or, let's roll a D3. On a 1, you've learned actual medical knowledge from reading while being a noble. You've learned to read and write, and you are a literate medical practitioner, and you are following the current studies of bloodletting, and you genuinely believe it. 2, it's just
maybe
an
we don't
excuse for you.
genuinely believe it, but we use it.
Yeah, you use it. 2, this is just a way, like, you're just lying to people.
Pure grift.
Pure grift. 3, it's a combination of the two. You've gotten a doctor to explain enough to you that you can grift your way into working as a bloodletter for him because you're good at knowing where the blood is in people. You can
So our skills
sense
we'd get would be on a 1, it would be medical
Medical-
knowledge. On a 2, it would
medical
be
knowledge.
charlatanry. On a 3, it would be pseudoscience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because
Perfect.
that's what pseudoscience is. Okay. Rolling now. That, it's grift mode, baby.
Yeah.
We love to see it. We love lying. No, it still makes me flashbanged.
Charlatanry.
Alright.
Probably spelled
Mason?
wrong, but nobody's going to see the document until after I've spell checked it in post. So,
Roll
anyway,
for me, Mason.
Please be negative. Please be negative. Please be negative. I want to at least get to the
No,
bottom.
it's +3.
Jesus Christ.
I got a 5 and a 2.
What are we at? What's our fucking score, I guess, at right now? Just so I know how long we have left of the
28.
game.
28 out of like 72
so we should at least
is when
make
it
it to
reaches
the next-
the end.
Good, so we should at least make it to the next century.
Oh, hopefully. Right,
Hopefully.
we're gonna cut forward like another 20 years because not much is happening at the moment.
So, now that we've started the practice of bloodletting, it is now 10:46. We are 67 years old. We are approaching the point where we are no longer what some would consider mortal age.
A
Approaching. We're
long
not
dead
quite
mortal
there.
character returns. What do they want from you? How have they survived death? You recognize them only if you still have a related memory. You do have the related memory. Congratulations, we're making our first immortal character. It's the Vicar, I say.
He's fucking back.
Oh no.
Father
buried
Fenga
him, but
is back.
He came alive, slowly but surely.
I'm going to
He's
put...
back as a monster, a vampire. He's still your enemy. And he wants to kill you and then himself.
Vicar, third best friend who hates us, Father Fenga, murdered, but returned to life.
He's now an immortal vampire who wants nothing more than to kill you and then himself.
Presumably something we did during the haphazard feeding.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Check a skill.
Check a skill.
Oh, by the way, if you run out of skills or resources and it asks you to check a skill or resource, you just die.
You just die. You just fully die. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
like
it's a good thing we have
can't
4
escape the
skills
situation.
remaining.
Good.
It's a good
Right,
thing
yes.
we have 4 skills remaining unchecked.
What are our current skills?
Unchecked are our hardiness from working in the fields as a mortal man. Our bloodthirstiness gained the night the vicar died. Our well-travelledness gained from wandering the many Roman roads of England to get to London, and our charlatanry that we got 20 years ago when we invented bloodletting to grift people into giving us their blood.
I think you lose your hardiness because you've not worked in a field for over 40 years.
It has been a long time. These muscles, they do wither and atrophy some.
You're still supernaturally strong. But
Yeah.
you just look more like a doctor and a sickly man. Right.
Our hardiness checked.
Wasn't that Alex's roll or Mason?
No, that was mine.
That was Mason's. So, my turn, yes?
Yeah, please.
Not a problem, not a problem.
Get a negative roll. I want to return and do the second stage of something.
Please.
I've not had many second stages, only when you've rolled zeros.
That's a fucking 0 again.
Okay,
I rolled
right,
a 2 and another 2.
Okay, what peril do they call down upon you? Create an enemy character, mortal or immortal, and check a skill or lose a resource. I think they contact the local priory, revealing to them that they are a monster, but still a servant of God, because they carry a cross on them that they've, like, branded into their chest, saying, like, I live in agony and repentance every day, so that I might hunt down the beast that turned me into a wretched monster.
A flagellant.
Yeah, so he calls down the priory, and now the priory are hunting for you. They're trying to catch you out at night. They want to know where you live. They want to... So you work somewhere different to where you live, and they want to catch you out at night and, basically pin you to the ground so that you will be burnt by the sun. So the enemy character, I guess, is another local priest of London.
A priest of London, brackets. But what shall this priest be named? It's quite funny that Father Fenga became a vampire.
Yeah.
Quite appropriate.
A repentant
Foreshadowing,
vampire.
indeed.
Father
Foreshadowing,
Tooth.
indeed. We're not just calling him Father fucking Tooth.
Father Ted.
It's Father Ted. It's fucking Father Ted.
Do 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 do. By the way, these guys are gonna be it took them let's say 4 years to organise, so it's now 10:50. 4 years to organise a full-on, like, thing within the church where they're like, now we have people hunting for you every day, and they've been hunting for you for a while.
It took them 4 years to call in a religious hit.
Essentially, yeah.
Years old.
Well, at first they had Father Fenger, like, just captured in the basement, and they were like, you know, you're a monster. And he was like, I am a monster. And it took him ages to convince them. And then slowly but surely he worked them up. And then he described them,
time.
you know, it took them time to figure out who you were. Now that you know, he tracked you down to London. Also, it took time for him to come down to London as well. You know?
So.
10:50. Also, you have to check a skill or lose a resource.
Check a skill or lose a resource.
How many resources do you have?
Noble connections, full stop. That's it.
Do you not even have the fork?
We lost the fork. The fork was the first. The fork was the first thing we lost, I think. No,
the first thing you lost was the bowl. Then you lost the shovel recently. You should still have the fork.
no, but well, it was checked though. Is the thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So you've only got noble connections.
Only our noble connections. I'll be honest. I don't see how the fork's gonna help.
No. Just check a
necessarily.
Check a skill.
I feel like the fork. The fork, I think, was checked as like a semi-technicality when we killed fucking Rumford.
Ah, fair.
It was checked somewhere along that way.
Yeah, maybe.
It was checked a bit before the bowl, I think.
Maybe.
Lost. Okay, skills and traits. Shit. Our well-traveledness, our bloodthirst, or our charlatanry?
I'd say lose your bloodthirst since you're no longer hunting people down.
Yes, we're more in hiding.
Now you are the hunted.
You're the prey.
The predator has become the prey. Prey of God.
Right. A prey must offer a prayer. Right,
etc., etc.
It's now Mason's turn.
Words.
Right.
Mason?
Okay. I rolled a d10 and got a 9, and I was like, oh god. And then I rolled a d6 and I got a 6, so it's 3.
It's 3. It's 3. Okay.
You fall into a deep slumber for 100 years. Strike out any mortal characters.
Okay, well, that's Father Head fucking gone, and that's
hard reset.
That's George fucking gone. That's Bedivere gone. That's okay.
Yeah. You still have the noble connections, but Bedivere doesn't remember you. Also, you've just skipped the big.
Bedivire's dead. Bedivere was. We've been asleep for. I don't think Bedivire's 120, 30 something years old.
No. I'm saying you don't remember, you'll still have the noble connections. But Bedivire's gone.
Yes. Fucking. You know what? Just for the sheer fuck of it, I'm gonna roll a d6, and if it's 5 or 6, Bedivere died in battle, not of old age.
Yeah,
Just for the fuck of it, he died in battle or old age.
Yeah.
Old age.
Okay, now
valiant
roll
knight
me
to
another
the end.
d6. On a 1 or a 2, his family is now slowly getting disgraced. On a 3 or 4, they're pretty much the same, pretty high standing. Or on a 5 or 6, they're a huge, big name now. They're a big family.
Yeah. Bedivire's sons were grand heroes in Hastings or something.
Yeah.
That's a 3. They're about the same.
About the same, yeah. Okay, they're still a big name, but they're not the biggest family.
The Ethelheads are doing okay. They're doing fine.
Right. So.
Okay. So it's now.
By the way, you're still being hunted by.
And we're 171 years old.
So what happened is you were being hunted. So to hide away, you decided to just sleep in a crypt for 100 years. You just set yourself down, and were like, I'm out ski. I'm not being hunted by the church any longer. This is making things difficult.
Nah, I'm asleep.
You do that.
But
so 100 years have passed. You're going to need a new name.
100 years have passed, we're going to need a new name. But my thought is... Father Ted and the Church of Time may have given up on the search.
No, but the vicar has not.
But Father Fenger...
He still wants you. He's
Father
immortal.
Fenger
He's
is still
eternal
hunting
enemy.
us.
Yeah, he has now become like a huge part of the religious figures. That he controls the religious body in London from behind, hunting for you. He still believes you're out there, but none of the mortals do.
100 years.
So he's still got people, informants, spies everywhere hunting for you.
Hunting us.
But after
just on the
100
off
years
chance.
of finding nothing.
After
beginning
100
to
years of
despair.
finding nothing, and of course, the spies would not recognise us by face, for we were never painted.
Yeah, true, yeah, exactly. So there's that. Right, so...
And even if we
pick a
were,
name.
we would have had us look completely different in the fucking painting, as everyone did.
Yeah. Right, new name.
Now then, new name. We can't... Okay. Jail, Satan, and first name, second name are off the docket. Mason, do you want to roll off for who gets to pick first and second names?
Yeah, let's roll off. D10s, yeah?
Alright. D10s. Arthur, count us in.
3, 2, 1, go.
That's a 10.
That's the first dice roll you've won, because I got a 5.
Finally!
Finally!
I need new D10s and new D6s. Anyway, I think,
You go
as is
first for second
tradition,
name.
I will do second name, Mason.
Okay, right. I need to
What
come up
is
with the first name.
what is the third forename of our grand vampire?
You want to fly under the radar at the minute. Maybe pick a more normal name.
Yeah.
It's a more normal name than Jail Satan or first name second name.
Yeah, okay. Right, let's see.
The fact our first name, if you pronounce it with a Hispanic accent, is fucking Hail Satan.
Yep.
We are fucking Hercule Satan from fucking...
That is exactly what I was thinking of.
Hail Satan.
Right, let's see. What's a good first name for 11 whatever?
What's a good less conspicuous name than Jail or First?
You know what? Let's get real ironic. Godric.
Godric.
They're grafted.
Godric the Grifter.
Okay, so just for the sake of it, how are we going to spell Godric?
Godrick.
True, it could be spelt other ways. For example, you could go with Goderic because it is the 11th century and people love just having useless letters in the words.
They do, yeah. But
Yeah, let's do that. Goderick.
Godric.
And I immediately have an idea for what the last name could be, but that's your domain.
You know what? No, do suggest it and I'll see if I like it.
Rolled. Goderick rolled.
Goderick rolled.
As in, you just got a Rick rolled.
No, I get it. I understand the joke, and that's why I'm not going for it.
Yeah.
I'm going for Astley.
Yeah, you know what? That's even better. Got a Rick Astley the roller. Which, if you didn't know, that's
fucking head at me, Arthur. We have all made worse jokes than Goderick Astley.
Nah.
No, we haven't. Never happened. Anyway, Goderick Astley awakens from his torpor.
Now it's Alex's role.
Please, 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 I am begging you, be a negative number. I am begging you, I'm... Let my breath of luck onto the dice. Finally, That's a -5, baby.
Oh, dang.
That's the most negative number it could be. I got a 1 on the D10. I got a 6 on the D6.
Nice.
You accidentally create a vampire through sloppy feeding, creating a mortal character from an existing mortal character. There are no existing mortal characters for you. So, create a new mortal character. You can have it tied back to one of the old ones, or whatever. And then check a skill.
Okay. Oh, we're running out of skills. We gotta get some more skills. We have so little. Okay, the skill I'm going to check is well-travelled, because the world has changed a lot in the 100 years we've been absent. There's a
You're
new,
no longer well-travelled.
That's valid.
There's not just a new king, there's a whole new fucking royal dynasty in town. We're technically ruled by the French at this point. It's like nothing's remotely recognisable anymore. Our travelledness is beyond out of date. And our new... You know what? I'm thinking our new immortal character is literally the first fucking guy we saw. The fucking, like, gravekeeper. Like, the crypt keeper.
So you just live in the crypts now. And the crypt keeper.
The name of our
Wallace.
new... Wallace or Molly. What?
Wallace, and has no second name. He's not important.
Crypt keeper, Wallace. I'm gonna put here new roommate as well.
You don't destroy each other because, like, you create him as an immortal. Like, you feed on him, and he wakes up the next day, and you're like, "That's how I make more vampires? Really?"
Yeah, because we've
like,
not.
I'm a vampire. What?
No. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now is, just for the sheer fuck of it, I'm gonna roll this d6. And I'm gonna see if, like, 1 or 2, he's, like, resentful of, like, the fact that he's a vampire.
On a scale of 1 to 6, depends on how much he likes becoming a vampire.
Yeah. If I get a 6, he's like, "This is fucking dope!" And he's our new best friend.
Yeah. Okay, roll.
He hates it. It's a 1. He hates this.
He hates this shit. But he doesn't hate you. He's just like,
He doesn't
oh,
hate
this
me.
sucks.
It's just like, this sucks.
He's
No,
like,
no,
I
no.
can
Wait.
only come out at night. This is exactly the same
That's
as my
the thing.
previous life when I
That's
was
the
digging shit.
That's the funny thing. A 1, for our relationship with Wallace, a 1, I think, is actually better than, like, a 3 or 4, because now we can just, like, be morose, angsty bastards together. We can be best friends in our suffering.
Bro.
We can be best friends in our suffering, whereas if we got a 6, it would be like, he'd be like the, I don't know, like the manic pixie dream vampire of this duo. And,
Yeah, alright.
But on a 3 or 4, we're like, yeah, you exist.
Roll me a dice.
I'm just gonna put here brooding friend. So roll dice. Me.
No, it's Mason's turn, right?
It's Mason's
Oh,
turn, yeah.
okay.
Please get us like a skill or a resource.
Once again, it's a +3.
Please get us a skill or resource. Please.
Oh. Here we are. You are ceaseless. It's the 3rd tick of the 28 mark. You are ceaselessly hunted by potent supernatural beings. Describe the methods you develop to avoid detection. So you're being hunted down, as we said, by this, like, spy network, and Wallace is like, holy shit. I was being watched by, like, a bunch of people, and then the two of you unravel this conspiracy that this guy is ruling the church. And so you can either lose a memory to gain a skill or resource, or do not lose a memory and you gain a mortal servant.
Ooh, a mortal servant or a skill or resource. Mason, the choice is yours, of course.
And of course you get to lose a memory to get
Could
the
lose
skill
a
or
memory,
resource.
which gives us room to gain a new memory, and you know.
If you lose a memory, by the way, just grey it out and make a new slot.
Right.
Yes.
I think I'll go with losing a memory to get a new skill resource.
What would you like to forget about?
I feel like I'm going to make a second section here. Lost memories.
Okay, that's
so
perfect.
I can just,
Yeah.
cut the memories out of the like live memories section and slot it into lost memories. So, our 6 memories.
What are you forgetting about?
Our 6 memories. Attempting. Now that's the thing. We could lose our first memory of Father Fenger, of why he hated us in the first place. Our memory of us attempting to dig graves for him preemptively.
Yeah, so you just think he's just a guy who you just fed on and now he hates you.
I'm gonna be real. Suggestion, Mason. I feel like until we somehow end Father Fenger, I want to keep the first memory.
Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
because I feel like
Maybe just forget your old friend. Your old friend.
Okay, a point. We
just list the memories. Just list the memories. Let me pick.
Okay, we've got the one I just mentioned.
Yeah.
We have the memory of Cal. We have the memory of Cal, the cow that died like 150 years ago now.
Long-dead characters can return. It's an option. You might find an undead cow.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
keep going.
Cal. Okay, it is Cal. We have the memory of the night we were turned. We have the memory...
Don't want to lose that. That one's quite important.
We have the memory and associated addendums of the night we killed the following night where we killed Rumford and started all of this with Father Fenger. We have our memory of Sir Bedivere Ethelhead slicing off Ethel's head. And we have our memory of George. Of the Gungle.
I think I'm going to get rid of the Ethel beheading.
Yeah, so you know you have noble connections, but you don't know why or who these people are. You're like,
yeah.
I know these guys.
I think.
Like, you have a crest of, like, the Ethelhead family, and, like, they have lodgers of remembering, like, your of Doctor working with them, and you could be like, oh, I knew that guy, yeah.
Yeah, so we can intuit that we knew Sir Bedivere Ethelhead if he is mentioned to us by name, and they say, oh yeah, no, he worked with this doctor guy, and
like,
this is our crest, and then and we can kind of go, yeah, no, we must have known him. Do I know anything about him?
Because I have this crest,
person?
so it must have just been handed on to me over the years, I guess. And then they're like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, we owe you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, we have a free memory slot and a new skill.
Or resource. How many skills do you have and how many resources do you have?
1 each. We have our noble connections as a resource, and we have used up our resentfulness, our deftness of hand, our hardiness, our bloodthirst, and our well-travelledness. And all we are left with is our charlatanry, our fucking shenaniganery.
Maybe
all we have left as usable skills is we lied. We lied badly, and people believed it. So, Mason, a new skill or a new resource? What?
Maybe get a skill because you lose skills a bit more.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like a skill is probably better to.
Right. Yeah. What will help us evade capture from this network?
This network of spies.
It could be the skill could literally be espionage.
Yeah, you know what? We're
nemesis, Father Fenger.
We've learned from the immoral whisperings of the crypt in which we have made our domain, and we have learned the ways of being sneaky af.
Espionage, stealth.
So is it stealth or espionage we're going for?
Yeah. Is it like political stuff, or is it specifically just being sneaky?
No, sneaky, because we already have political stuff. That's charlatanry.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we have noble connections. Charlatanry is lying and pretending to be being a quack.
Yeah.
So politicians do that all the time.
So you're like stealth. You're personally good at sticking to the shadows, not necessarily good at like manipulating.
I like to think we learned this from Wallace. You know what? Since Wallace is our brooding friend wrapped up in this conspiracy, I feel like Wallace the Crypt Keeper, who may well be our longtime friend after this, I feel like we need a surname for Wallace.
Well, no, Wallace has no surname, but we'll give him a surname over time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess it could be Wallace Softfoot for now.
All right. So.
No, he actually carries a piece of metal with him all the time, making him Wallace Gromit.
No. If he takes... Look, no, Mason. If he takes up forging and artificery, I will rename him to Wallace Gromit.
Okay.
But that will be something that the dice shall decide.
Okay.
Or
right.
I will decide at random.
It is your go.
Or I will decide not to, permanently.
Yes, permanently. I'll have to give myself a promotion. That's a +5.
You know where the old things are. Create a resource and make an enemy character into a friend.
Oh, an enemy character into a friend.
We have one enemy, right?
We have only the one enemy. And that is, of course, Father Fanger. Our old nemesis.
Wow, after hunting us for over 100 years.
After hunting us for like 100 and... Because we turned him in the year 1000. It has been exactly 150 years.
Actually, I'm going to say 3 years have passed.
Exactly 153 years. So, what was it?
You know where the
becomes a
old
friend.
things are. Create a resource and make it. So, what is this resource you're making? And then I'll spin a story from you. This can be an addendum.
You turn the cross upside down.
We invent Satan. No. I feel like Father Fanger would be rather upset about that, so I don't think that works. Know where the old things are. I feel like... I don't know what the resource will be yet, maybe. But I feel like we might be able to convince Father Fanger to ally with us for the same reason that he was hunting us in the first place.
Oh,
Convince
so
Father
you
Fanger.
say... So you tell him
want-
you found an ancient text on the origins of vampirism.
Maybe not the origins of vampirism. I think, yeah, but perhaps in the more immediate sense, we ally with Father Fanger and his spy network to attempt to find the man who turned me.
So that's what I'm saying. You find the origin of... And you say, so long as we can find the origin of our vampirism, we can then track back. And should we slay the original vampire, Nosferatu, we will be returned to mortals at the ages at which we were turned, perfectly healthy and able to live out the rest of our natural lives as godly citizens.
Father Fanger is now our second best friend who still hates us.
Yay.
Yeah, hates you, but he's like allied with you. So you have the esoteric texts.
So
of
what we have
Baal.
now is we have our brooding friend and our... God, I hate you so fucking much. And if I had, you know, the opportunity to, I would kill you. But we do need each other for this one thing, friend.
So you have the esoteric texts of Baal Vanderbloom. And those are texts on the origins of vampirism.
So I assume we also, that being Wallace, Softfoot, Father Fenger, and us, all now know a bit more about vampirism as well, just from connections in the book. Read. Actually,
Reading, yeah.
Okay. Can I roll a couple more d6 to figure something, to find something?
Yeah,
to understand something? Because we know we can read. But can Wallace and Father Fenger read?
No, Wallace can't read.
Wallace cannot
Father
read.
Fenger
I will
can
put
read.
down... What? Okay, yeah, no. Okay, but the thing is...
Father Fenger can read English and Latin.
Father Fenger can read English and Latin. We can read English and a bit of Latin.
And ancient
Wallace,
Greek.
And ancient Greek?
That's another text that things like this would be written in.
Yeah, so we just, like, learn ancient Greek through just translating through the languages we already know.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then Wallace just doesn't know how to read.
Yeah, he's a dummy. Dumbo.
I think it would be funny if we, like, taught Wallace to read a little bit of English.
Yeah, over the years.
Like, I don't think Wallace is going to be able to learn English and Latin and ancient Greek. Because Wallace has been a vampire for, like, 3 years. But we've been a vampire for 150 years.
Right. Please roll.
Mason.
Okay.
Do I want to make a memory of us re-befriend? Well, I say
Add that as a caveat to the conflict.
Oh god, I got a 7 and a 1, so that's +6.
I'll add this as a caveat to the first instance.
Yeah.
Because I've run out of caveats on the instance of the first day.
Yeah, the first day was about like the moment. This is about like your relationship with Father. Interesting. I like this. Age has damaged your diary and mind. Strike out 3 nouns from the memories in your diary, starting from the oldest entry. If you have no diary, do this to the first 3 nouns of a memory of middling age. So, you do no longer remember the name of your like old friend who was sick. I don't remember his name either.
It was Rumford. So strike out the name Rumford. I will put like.
Just add question mark after it.
Okay. I'm thinking possibly put in Lost Memories stricken nouns.
Yeah, okay, do it. Yeah. So just Rumford is now question mark. The cow is also question mark. And because you know Father Fenger, you can't lose him. So the next person you lose
would be George.
Or
Ethel.
Ethel.
Well, that's the thing. Okay. So Ethel, Cow, and Rumford.
You forget who Ethel was. You no longer realise that you know the story of Ethelhead and like how that happened because you forgot the very even murder.
That's the thing. We completely forgot the murder already. We forgot the murder happened.
Oh,
already.
Maybe you forget Bedivere's name then. You forget Sir Bedivere's name.
Sir Bedivere is no longer a name we remember. I mean, we'll probably still hear it as like the origin of the house, but more as a legendary figure than as I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. So, our journey to kill the first vampire.
Also, this is years of research. So it's now actually been like 20 years. It's 1173, and over this time you've been teaching Wallace to read English. Wallace can now read English.
We are 100
and is slightly studied. Also, you are very well studied, by the way, because you've just been living in the crypts and reading. Like
as is, of course, Father Fenger, although anytime we attempt to do any level of studying together, it just turns into a shouting match.
Yeah, basically. Right. Roll
because we still hate
Alex.
each other. We still hate each other. We're just working together.
Roll for me, Alex. You're almost approaching 40 years.
That's a -1. We're nearly 200 years old.
Your whole being becomes centered in your senses and hungers, Create a skill that demonstrates your feral vampire nature and lose an existing memory. You're slowly becoming more and more vampiric. The more you learn about vampirism, the more you realise your body has certain skills that you didn't even realise were possible.
Well, if we're losing a memory and becoming more bestial, I think the memory to lose is the one with George.
Yeah, okay, you no longer remember. You lose your
humanizing
memory.
Experience disappears. This makes sense.
So, you gain like vampiric powers. We're gonna say as the skill.
Ooh, some level of vampiric power. But what kind of vampiric power to go for?
Well, let's just call it generic vampiric powers for now, so it's kind of applicable to a lot of things.
So generic vampiric powers, and then we can like maybe spec into stuff effectively later on if our power grows further.
Yeah, exactly. So for now, you're becoming even stronger, even faster, even more terrifying. The beast begins to awaken. Maybe eventually you will become too vampiric to want to shed this form, and you will turn on the other two, who both hate being a vampire vehemently.
I mean, actually, all three of us hate being vampires vehemently.
Yeah, but you're slowly twisting around that. You're becoming more akin to something that loves its bestial flesh. Right. Mason, roll for me, please.
Okey-doke. That is a 0.
You move differently from humans, and they unconsciously sense it. Create a mark. We get a new column known as marks. This only appears when you create a mark. This is a feature that marks you out from normal humans and makes it easier for hostile NPCs and characters that you know to get you, basically. So it makes it more likely for you to fail. I like to think this is just something that
happened as we started to develop this vampiric power. We just
I think you're becoming more pallid, and your fingers and like your nails that were once sharp are now becoming like distended, elongated talons. You're starting to become more hunched and bestial in form.
I shall name this mark Bestial Form.
We'll call it like also just like brackets 1, because like this will extend if you get more.
Bestial Form 1.
So, I guess these generic vampiric powers are linking to bestial form, aren't they? Right, roll for me, please.
As somebody who knows vague amounts of Vampire the Masquerade lore, I may be able to pull something out of this if our vampiric powers develop further. To a specific
It'd be fun to do a
kind
Vampire
of
the Masquerade with this, like blend the two of them.
That would be fun. That could be fun, yeah. Like we do this first as the character creation for the Vampire the Masquerade characters. That could be entertaining. That is another 0.
You can always find the frail, the weak, the vulnerable. Take the skill, cull the herd. Do not meet the eyes of the strong. They are not for you. So now you are starting to see yourself as a lower vampire, a lesser, more thrall-esque creature. And you know the one that created you was a vampire noble, a greater thing. You can start to sense the power of the thing that created you, and you are drawn to it. You are beginning to be able to sense out its location, but you almost don't want to tell the others, because you don't want to develop this freedom. You become feeling like you are subservient to it. So this is, I'm going to say, it's been 100 years of you just researching and being vampiric, and it's been so long that you're starting to actually become like a real beast. Just living in the crypts under London, picking people out at night and eating them. And the more you eat, the stronger you become. You've gone from this lower, almost non-vampiric, just a person cursed by undeath, to becoming a more bestial thrall of this vampire. But you know you need to seek noble blood to become a noble, and you want this just as much as you know you need to destroy the original vampire to become free. You're starting to have these two ideas tossed up in your mind.
And perhaps they can be used in tandem. Perhaps by becoming a noble vampire, we can have the power we need to destroy the first.
Yeah. Also, I think I'm going to ask the two of you to pick a side right now. One of you is destroy the original vampire, and one is become a great vampire. Decide between you.
Okay, Mason. Okay, did you say it's been 100 years? Was
Yeah,
that
it's like 1273.
in retrospect, or is it now 12? Okay, it's now 1273. We are 294 years old. Okay, so one of us shall represent our drive to become a noble vampire, a great and powerful thing. Yeah, and the other will be our urge to destroy the first vampire and end the curse.
Also, George is dead. I don't know if George died yet, but he's dead.
Oh no, obviously George is fucking dead. He was a child 200 years ago.
I just had to make sure he was dead. I just had to make sure.
I cut George's life. I declared George dead of old age when we woke up in the crypt 100 years ago.
I didn't know if he'd met him before or after Crypt had happened. So I just wanted to make sure we'd marked him dead.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure now he was marked as dead.
Mason, do you have a preference on which side of this dichotomy you represent?
No, not really.
Just roll for it.
Do I? Okay, it is roll off.
The one
time.
who rolls higher is the one who wants to become more vampiric.
Okay.
Yes, the one who rolls higher is the one who wants to become a higher vampire.
2, 1, roll.
That's a 4.
I got a 6.
You now represent the urge to become a higher, more powerful vampire. That is now a goal
Dark,
of yours.
fetid, rotten urge
That is
for
now
power.
one of your goals, and one of mine will be to kill the first vampire.
Right. Roll, please. Whoever's... I think it's Mason's turn, right?
I believe it is Mason's, yes, I think.
The first step toward becoming a greater beast.
I got a -1.
Or perhaps an accidental step back.
Things fall to dust. Lose a resource for which you have no corresponding memory. Do not create a new experience for this prompt. It simply happens to you as you stare in silence. What do you have a Oh, you lose your noble connections. You no longer remember them.
We have become so deeply entrenched in our vampiric reading, something that feeds both of our goals.
But you no longer remember these nobles.
We are no longer connected to them.
You no longer really care for human nobility. You know that vampire nobility exists. And you must.
The three of us, Wallace Softfoot, Father Fenger, and us, we should probably... Actually, no.
Yeah, get a new name, by the way. Get a new name.
Yeah, we do need a new name. We'll come up with a new name.
And it's gonna be a name that reflects nobility. I choose.
Yeah,
I declare.
Something
that's
noble. I believe you picked the name Godric for our last life, I suppose. So I believe I should pick the first of this one and you the second.
Okay.
Cedric or Abel or something like that. Something biblical.
As another reference to Vampire the Masquerade, because I have looked into the lore a lot. Cain.
Cain, I like it. Okay, Cain. Like Cain and Abel, but you're choosing the murderer. Darkness.
Because whether we become the most powerful vampire we can, or kill the first vampire, we shall be a murderer. We have murdered, our first acts were murder, and our last acts as a vampire will be murder, whether we choose the path of power or freedom.
It's gotten a bit darker, so I can now do this without the sun turning me to a ghost.
Whether we choose the paths of power or freedom, our last act as a vampire will be slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, Cain
What shall be our surname, Mason?
Mardrain. Something like that. Something long and dignified.
Elegant almost. And probably French, because it's 1273. What was going on in England in 1273, Arthur? What shall be happening above our heads
the
from this
timeline
crypt?
of England. In 1276, Henry recognised the authority of Lynwen ap Grifford in Gwynedd.
Okay,
That
let's just say, who's king right now?
King Henry III was just defeated.
I see.
And
So
Edward II is going to be crowned the future king of it. No, Edward II is born to Edward I. So it's, it's currently Edward I, I think is king. Maybe? The Magna Carta was signed like 60 years ago.
Right. Cain.
There's the Revolt of Wales are happening soon. And William Wallace is going to be a thing.
See. Neat.
There's events.
There's events, as there typically is. We'd better get... We should probably try and get a resource soon, if we can. If possible, because we only have the esoteric text, and if we need to lose a resource, I don't want to lose the esoteric text.
Yeah.
Because that's necessary for both sides of us.
You'd have to hunt them down again.
We'd need to find the texts, the sacred texts. And
Or
also,
you'd need to find
Father Fanger
or
would
you'd
probably...
need to find a more updated version, because this is only one set of esoteric texts. There will be other things you'll be able to learn. This is one person's researches.
And also, probably, if we can't convince Father Fanger we're going to find new esoteric texts, he'll probably fucking kill us.
Yeah, probably. But you're stronger
that's
than
the
him, though. You're a
only
greater beast than he is.
Oh,
He
we're stronger.
He doesn't embrace his vampiric nature. You do. You have become the most vampirically powerful, but you've also become the most bestial.
Of the three of us, of course.
You dress,
There is, of course, the
You
stranger
dress yourself
and those beyond
you
him
dress yourself
still.
of like a long cloak as well,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
long cloak and hood and robe to hide the fact that you're becoming more bestial from the others.
So, what is our vampiric surname? Quite funny, we've gone from Jail Satan to Godric to Cain. Frankly, first Nem, second Neem is the first. Is the only name we have that is not biblical in nature.
You picked a young peasant, and you picked a vicar as one of the people you know. The biblical nature was tied in from the very start.
Yeah. I can't think of anything.
What about just Yorick?
Sure, yeah. I was
Just a
getting
strong
when I was coming
English
up with
surname.
Godric, one of my other choices was going to be Yorick.
Yorick, strong
Yeah, Cain
English.
Yorick.
Cain Yorick.
Or Yorick's. Or what about like take one of your old names and be son of. Be like, or born.
Cain. All I'm imagining is Cain Satanson.
Cain. Lucifer born.
Yeah.
Oh no. Cain.
Cain Neemborn.
Neemborn. Yeah. Neemborn. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Nameborn. Yeah. Cain Nameborn. This will be the name you
Okay,
adopt
that's the thing.
among the
Are
travelers.
we going with Cain Nameborn or Cain Neemborn?
Well, yeah, Neemborn.
Nameborn, yeah.
Cain Neemborn, our vampiric name
Alright.
of the 13th century. So, we did that. What was the
mid to
thing we
late.
were distracting from there?
Oh, you lose a resource if you have no corresponding memory, so you
Oh yeah,
lost
the
the
noble
connections.
connections. That was it. Okay, right. So
Also, that was like a few years passing doing that. So like, I'm gonna say it's now 1290. So we're reaching the end of this 13th century, and the Welsh Revolt, the first Welsh Revolt, has happened.
Our age is 321.
Hey.
Right.
Hooray!
Roll for me, please, Alex.
We have made it to our fourth century of life. We've passed the 3-century threshold. We're in our fourth. That's a -1.
The deceptions you fabricate the deceptions you practice fool even yourself. Combine any 3 traits to fabricate an experience that you believe to be true. So 3 checked traits or skills or whatever.
Ones.
3 no, they don't have to be checked, but 3 traits, not skills.
It is quite funny that it's like our lies have fooled even us when our oldest unchecked trait is charlatanry.
Yeah. So, let's say you're beginning to believe that vampire. So, an addendum to when you were originally turned, your first night, you are beginning to believe that you were chosen specifically by that person for your potential as a vampire.
So, vampiric
They
power,
saw
I
in
think,
you.
would definitely be one of the things we'd pick for that.
Yeah. And bloodthirstiness, despite being
Yeah,
checked.
bloodthirsty.
And your resentment.
Our
All combining into the fact that your potential was not as a human but as a beast. And you begin to believe that you were chosen for your potential as a monster and that you are destined to be a great vampire. Should you give in to that urge? Or you are destined for greatness, whether you are destined to free all of the vampires from their vampiric curse or to become a great noble vampire.
I'm just going to put in... we're putting this in memories, yes?
Yeah, this is an addendum to the first night you were turned.
Oh, as an addendum to the night of turning.
Yeah, so you're starting to believe that you weren't turned randomly, that you were sought out for your potential, for your role in the world that is almost prophesied to you. You begin to believe.
And then at the end of this, I'm going to put, as a pointer on that, in all caps, imagined.
Delusion. Right. Now, let's go.
Mason,
Yep.
hit it.
Da-da-da-da. Oh. That is a +5.
Fine, you've had a few minuses. Your body is distant from human concerns. Lose a memory slot, and they erase your oldest extant name.
Wait.
So you now only have 5
Remove-
memory slots.
Oh my god, I was about to say, remove a memory slot.
Yeah.
We only have room for one more memory before we start overwriting. So, remove our earliest extant memory. Or
Name.
Earliest extant
Raise.
name. So, like, forget the earliest name in our books.
Forget who you once were.
Oh, forget our... So we forget that we were ever...
You forget you're like... Yeah, you forget you're like... You remember you were human, but you don't remember what you were like as a human. Further research, I'm going to say it's now 1310, and you're preparing to go find... You've told the others that you can sense the original vampire, and the next set of events are going to be what happens while you're travelling to this original vampire to find them. The one who turned you.
So it was 1290, It's now 13.
Now 1310.
So it's been 20 years. We're 341 years old. The question is, if we're preparing to leave, are we bringing our allies on this journey with us?
We'll see, I suppose, depending on what prompts we think.
Indeed. So I suppose it is Mason's role.
No, I just
Wait, no,
rolled,
Mason
didn't I?
just rolled
Oh no,
a
that's
5.
my role. It's my role.
It makes sense that Mason's role was the one that made him forget about humanity.
I reject my humanity, etc.
I reject your humanity and substitute my own.
That is a +3.
The first. An immortal character you've met returns to claim a debt. Okay, so you are bringing your immortal friends.
Wait, but the thing is, it says returned, not
So
that they stick
let's
around.
say you're preparing to leave, and that they hear of this, like the grapevine, the network of things. They have begun to make contact with your network of spies, and they actually come to visit you in London, and they say, I've granted you great power, and they. So
This is the stranger.
you.
The stranger returns.
Okay. Do you pay it willingly?
So the stranger has returned to.
You
claim
remember
a
this
debt.
character, so you lose your resource. You lose your esoteric texts. They come to claim the esoteric texts. They say, this has changed you greatly. I demand these texts of you.
I've come to collect the texts. So the question: do I have a choice? in
No,
the
you
matter of
have
what
to give them
happens?
up. Obviously, you have to give them up. But we're going to say the next 2 are still going to be within the same, the next 2 events are going to be within the same.
So we're going to still.
like-
So we're still going to, for the next couple of events, we're still going to remember, definitely remember the information of the texts, but not be able to
So I'm
learn
saying
new
these. Oh no, I'm
things
saying
from-
these next 2 events are, unless a great deal of time is forced to pass, these are the immediate responses to this person turning up and demanding the texts from you.
and taking the texts.
Yeah.
And
So
if
they've
we
come to
lose
take the
one,
texts,
and we are
and you
now,
almost feel compelled. You cannot resist giving them the texts up. You have to
This is-
betray your 2 other immortal friends.
So,
So,
do we learn anything about the stranger?
not yet. Mason, roll please.
All right.
If we are called to lose one more resource, we die.
It's over. Yeah, I guess if you lose another resource, you just give up your freedom and you willingly become their thrall, and that's the end of your story.
That is a
Or-
+1.
Or we attempted to stop them from taking the text and they fucking murked us.
Yeah, one of the 2. Depends on whose
Either way-
turn it is, I
Either
guess.
way, we are out of play. We are done.
Your body is undergoing further corruption and change. When do you first notice these new changes? Create a second mark. So we're going to upgrade the original bestial nature to number 2. You are now
bestial
your
form.
talent. Your fangs are growing greater. Your eyes are beginning to yellow, and your fingers are growing even more distended. You're hunched back. Even now, you no longer resemble a man, but more of a ghoul. Your pallid skin stretched over your body. You are like a
creature
beast, and you
of
have
the
to
night.
hide yourself completely under a cloak. Otherwise, people will immediately recognize you for a monster.
We are no longer Mr. Beast. We are now just Beast.
Exactly.
Kane,
All right. So this is a result of you giving in to this creature, this creature, the monster, the noble vampire that comes to claim its bounty from you.
hunched in shame for our loss of the texts. One might even say. So, it is time to roll.
Once more, Alex. This is the final response to this person turning up.
Once more to the pit. That is a +7.
Oh, jeez.
That takes us to 52. We're reaching the end game.
We're getting close to the end.
The beauty of the dawn calls to you. Create an additional memory slot dedicated to beauty, nature, or peace. So you now have your lost memory slot back. This person leaves, and suddenly the serenity of freedom washes over you. You get that new memory slot back. And this memory slot is specifically related to memories to do with beauty, nature, or peace.
I think what I'll go with for this memory slot is not a concrete event, but the small vestiges, the flickers, the remaining like embers of the memories.
Okay, so as you sit there in the crypt,
you
sit there in the crypt. Now, having betrayed your friends and given up your esoteric texts, they know nothing of this. This all happened within a couple hours. You sit there, hollow on the ground, and then suddenly, through cracks in the ceiling, you see a glint of sun catch the dust in the air, and you see the moss on the walls and a rat scurrying along the ground, feeding on this moss. And you think to nature, even in its most twisted and wretched form around you, still thrives, alive and natural, and you too once lived among nature and natural. And you think of the beauty of that nature, and you think of the warmth of the sun that you will be able to feel once again on your flesh without an acrid, burning acid, should you be free of this curse. So it's a memory, a desire to be human once again.
The texts are gone, but
no resources available to you. You are teetering on the edge of oblivion.
Time is short. Mason.
Time indeed.
Roll, please.
That is a -5.
Ooh.
Right, we're going down.
We're slipping away from the end game.
You have helpless people put in your charge. Create a skill that helps you exploit them. Derive it from a happy memory. So I'm gonna say, you are like, I have to put behind me this like crypt. You have to leave, and you start going out into the world, and you see that the world outside has changed greatly, and you see like a group of homeless people on the street, starving, and you bring them with you and show them, like, you help them hunt outside of London in the natural wilds and wolds. And so you've got a skill, hunting, derived from your happiness of nature, but not hunting like a beast, hunting like a man.
Hunting like a man with bow and arrow on horseback, perhaps.
Yeah, things like that. Hunting like a man.
Hunting with another man,
Human
a
hunting.
name we can't remember. A
Man
in armor, perhaps, but we don't know.
Yeah. Who was that guy? He was a nice guy.
I don't know,
Surely a lovely man.
Something
Surely
noble
a
on there.
lovely
I don't
man
remember that either.
who never took anybody's head for any reason.
I definitely wasn't remembered as the Cruel.
Distinctly not. Why would he ever?
He was a lovely man. Right. Alex, your turn to roll.
Please, for the love of God, a resource. Any one of my skills or traits for a resource. So, +3.
If you do. 50. You are captured in a trap set for predatory mortals. What sort of criminal are you taken to be? How does this experience help you better prey on the mortals? Make a new skill that sours the purity of a pleasant memory. So you're caught poaching.
So we've got hunting, and now immediately below it, poaching.
Yeah, you get the skill poaching, and the memory of nature is once again soured by law and rule as you are caught as a poacher. So that memory...
Nature is a
love
great
of nature.
Thing. Man,
the love of nature is immediately soured by.
Despite it being a checked trait, that resentfulness of man's law still lives in the back of our minds.
It was checked because it saved your life, not because you lost it.
It remains even still. Perhaps we should return to the crypt and watch the moss for a few hundred years.
No, you're still out there. Right, it's been a year of hunting with these people. 13,
Okay, it
11.
has been a year. It is 1311. We are now 342 years old.
Right.
Mason,
Actually, fuck it. You
wait.
got sent to jail for like 15 years actually. So it's now
Okay.
25.
So
13,
it's 1325.
yeah, you were
We're
sent to
now-
jail for 15 years. You've lost contact with your two immortal friends, but you still remember. I assume you just disappeared one night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they know you got convicted.
We're now 356 years old. I will put in here lost contact and lost contact. So we may perhaps meet them again. Perhaps Father Fanger and Wallace Softfoot are out still trying to kill the first vampire their own way. Off of the slight inklings of memories of
Yeah, they've lost the esoteric
ancient-
texts.
The esoteric texts are lost. They can learn no more, but the knowledge of what was in them may be somewhere in the back of their minds.
Roll,
Perhaps they're still going.
please, Mason.
Mason, indeed.
We
Please,
have
please
got
get us a resource. Please don't.
a
use
minus
us a resource,
3.
We will die.
Oh, you're back to a thing. You are impressed by the fighting spirit of one of your victims, your cellmate. You try to feed on them, but you are impressed. They fight you back. And so, do they survive? Do they survive your bestial rage? Let's roll. On an even they survive, on an odd they don't, but they still impressed you.
Shall I roll?
Any
Please,
dice,
Mason, roll.
Any dice.
As long as
Any
it's got
dice.
an even amount, so it'll be fair.
That's every dice.
That's
Yes,
a 3.
it is, yeah. Odd,
So
they died.
3,
That's
they
a shame.
died.
Okay, so you're
Unfortunate.
now in prison for another 40 years for murdering.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's now
1365.
1365, and we are 396 years old.
They assume you've died of old age, so you are released in like a corpse pit. One day you pretend to be dead, and that's when they let you out.
Because you're bored. Because we're bored.
Yeah. You're like,
I think it's about time that Cain Neemborn perhaps come up with another name, but still perhaps use Cain Neemborn in vampiric circles.
Yeah, so Cain Neemborn is now your vampire name. Your human name can be a new one when you meet new humans, you'll just come up with it then.
Yeah.
So-
But for now, we are naught
Also,
but Cain.
add an experience of, like, if you have the slot, add the memories of being in prison and being impressed by the human ferocity of your cellmate. You're like, maybe it is not entirely bestial to fight back. It is also in human nature that rage and carnage lie. And maybe this vampirism is also a part of nature. I guess since this is a memory of Mason's, you can see that maybe that your human nature is what is poisoning this vampiric nature, and you need to become more purely vampiric to become more serene and pleasant among the natural beings.
Perhaps.
Right. Alex, please roll.
We're on the edge of death. We've been on the edge of death for now 55 years.
You own nothing. Should somebody come to claim something from you, you're dead. I guess you were in prison the whole time, though, so it makes sense. You own nothing in prison.
That is a 1. A positive 1.
You awaken covered in dust. Generations have passed. Your sleeping place has been sealed off. How do you escape? You slept for like 100 years in the corpse pit.
It is now 1465. We are 496 years old.
So it would say lose a resource here, but I kind of don't see how you would lose a resource here. You would lose a resource if you already had one, but I don't see how this would kill you.
From this
Fine.
specific instance,
Yeah, I just
We
because
have
you'd already
been
said you
sealed
just
in.
pretended to dead. Yeah, So you're sealed in. I guess you need to do so.
I'd
say
rules with TTRPGs are always guidelines. You know, you can adapt them for
look.
situation.
So you lose any mortal characters? Do you have any mortal characters?
I think just those homeless people we hunted with.
Those
we
homeless
don't.
people
We have
dead.
the homeless people, and all of them have been dead for well over 100 years. By
They also got executed for poaching. You were only spared.
yeah,
because
because
you
they
had
were
noble
peasants.
Oh, you didn't even.
No, we don't
you
have
only
noble
spared,
connections.
Yeah, you were just spared on happenstance, I guess. Some of them
I
got
think-
executed. Some of them died in prison.
Yeah, some of them were executed, some died in prison, but either way, it's been 100 years. They're all fucking dead.
Yeah, you.
So no.
Are going to. I'm going to have you lose. I'm going to have your two your immortal Noahs become resentful of you for disappearing, and I'll let you live for now.
I'll put here. Resentful.
But if you lose another resource, no matter what, you die. That's it. You've had your one free
Perhaps
one up.
in this instance, since we are sealed in and trying to find a way, and trying to escape, perhaps in lieu of losing a resource, we could check a skill.
Yeah. Okay. What skill do you think would help you escape from this corpse pile? The plague has happened, right?
The plague has
This
happened.
is a corpse.
Maybe that's what sealed the crypt.
This
This
is
is a corpse pit.
Well, we're not in the crypt anymore. We're in a plague corpse.
All right,
pit.
well, there we go then.
Yeah. The Black Death happened for 100 years.
It
where
might
he
be a
slept in
plague
corpse
pit, but it's our plague pit.
It just sucks to die in like a corpse pit just because you like slept
I think
there
it sucks to die in general.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
this is just such a lame
This
way
is
to
a
die.
such a lame way to go.
You've got so
Like,
much
definitely
to do in
towards
your
the bottom of the
story.
tier list.
We've built such a story that I don't want it to just end because, you just slept in a corpse pit and got buried.
Perhaps since we lied to get our way into the fucking corpse pit, we can check our charlatanry.
Yeah, check your charlatanry, sure. Okay. Right. Roll me, please. Is it Alex's roll?
No, I believe that was
No, I think it's my
Mason's
turn.
Yeah, I believe it was me that is getting us out of this corpse pit.
That is a +3.
I'm begging you, get a resource, please. I don't want to fucking
When you
die in the
hunger too
lamest
much, you
way
become a
possible.
hunting creature bereft of intellect. Use a random experience from a memory somewhere in the middle of your memory list.
Okay, somewhere in the middle.
So you've awakened, you've come out of this pit, you're so hungry, starving. You've even forgotten.
And by this point, the corpses in the corpse pit, their blood is corrupted. We
Oh
cannot
yeah,
drink
like
it.
it's just rotten. You don't want to.
It's rot. That's the thing. Our 6 memories, in order, are trying to help Father Fanger. Cow. Are turning. The murders.
Turning. I think. What's number 5?
We've got the murders. We've got the flickering embers of life as jail Satan. And then being sent to prison, which we, from our perspective, just did.
Okay, I think you lose the cow. I think it's time.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
over.
goodbye, cow.
Cow is over.
Because we're so hungry that we wouldn't even spare a thought to it.
So it's
We're
gone
so
now.
hungry we wouldn't eat a cow, we'd eat a horse.
Oh, God. Alright. Please roll
That's
for me,
not-
Alex.
Okay,
Wow.
please a resource. Please. That's a +5.
The end is near.
It's over.
Oh, no.
We've passed. We've passed the
You
point.
begin a fantastic construction that puzzles the mortal around you. Give just a hint to its purpose, lose a resource, and gain the skill Visionary.
through
You
losing
begin
that
to
resource?
build a shrine to attract vampires, and these people have, over the years, they've become wise to vampirism. Something has happened in these 100
Through
years
our
you've slept.
stupid, suspicious shit.
Yeah, they hunt you down, they kill you, they burn you. I guess it's witch trials time. They just burn you as a
No.
witch.
No, I know what happened.
Oh, okay.
What happened is, through his resentfulness of us and the lack and the loss of the esoteric text, Father Fenger returned to his original mission. To take us down and to go down with us. It didn't say It didn't say it in there, but Father Fenger won in the end.
Yeah, so he just hunts you down. He finds you as you leave that corpse pit. You're erecting.
Oh no, he brought back his spy network. Is what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're erecting this strange ritual site to try and like rebuild your connection to the vampirism, and they find you in this, this field that you're doing it, and you are burnt. You are simply burnt, an unremembered, unremarkable body added to the numerous amounts of people that were killed in the witch hunts.
A man who tried to save the world from vampirism and instead died as a hunched, warped thing.
Yeah, I mean,
agony of the tragedy will eventually be washed away.
You had a possibility to become a great thing, but you simply could not manage it. You did not have the resources available to you.
Etc.
If you'd got one more, by the way, you would have gotten a resource.
Oh,
fuck! Damn you, you stupid!
If you'd gotten two more, you would have gotten like a ton of resources back.
What would that have been?
Three more would have gotten a ton of resource. Literally, if you just rolled any more, you would have gotten resources. And any less, you would have gotten a skill.
So what you're saying is I rolled the exact one thing that killed us.
In your like set of rolls possible,
and everything of all possible combinations, anything that equaled what I got was the only thing that would have doomed us.
Yeah, literally, yeah. I'm literally reading through.
Dang,
it, yeah.
That's rough.
If you'd gotten like a +1, you'd have become immune to the sun.
Oh,
immune to the sun. That would be fucking huge.
And a skill about freedom.
Damn.
That's fucked. You just happened to get unlucky and just die. I tried to spare you and give you a chance to fulfill your destiny, but it was like 2 in a row.
We got our final chance passed forward by 1.
Yeah. Sucks to suck.
Truly.
Get fucked.
Fuck. Okay. Jesus.
I guess that's the end. Do you want to share what our original goals were?
Yes. What were our goals? Okay, Mason, you go first. I think.
Mine was kill JFK.
Huh?
I was originally going to write save JFK, but then I was like, no. I'm the third gunman on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, okay. Not the
second,
third
vampire in the third vampire in the boot of the car.
Okay,
I was the fourth gunman on the bonnet.
Were there any? Okay, did you put any other goals?
No, that's the only one I ever put. The only two things I wrote were vampire with MPD and goal kill JFK.
Okay.
I respect it.
So, I ended up with 3 goals by the end of that. The first, become a true landowner as opposed to a serf. Which I don't think we ever technically did.
No, you never got any land. You were close.
We had prestige, but we never had land. Which is unfortunate. Discover the identity of the stranger. Never happened. The stranger showed back up, stole the esoteric text, and fucked us right over.
If you'd rolled some stuff to do with interacting with an immortal character, I would have let you get a lot more, but unfortunately they just turned up
Regrettably, we didn't.
Shit.
And then third, obviously, kill the first vampire.
Yes.
Fucking deadoi, we never did. So, in summary, we were never a 1,000-year-old vampire. We were, at most, about half that. 496.
Half measures quite well describes this character. They never really managed to achieve anything. They had great goals, lofty ambitions, and started along that journey even becoming quite a strong and powerful vampire, but never able to shirk their role as a thrall or a servant, a serf, a slave. They were, in the end, nothing but dust and ash.
Doomed.
To dust and ash
fun.
have they returned.
And of our
I'd
loss,
happily do another one of these eventually.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. I mean, this is good. This is good shit.
We'll probably do a fantasy world next time.
Yes, but perhaps the next episode of Dicey Deeds will be on a different game entirely.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, possibly, indeed.
More than likely, it will be a completely different...
Probably be like a one-shot of something. We could do Honey Heist or something like that. That's quite funny.
There is a lot.
It's a very different tone.
Let us not discuss it now.
Oh, yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah.
Save it for the surprise of another day. So, other than what we've already mentioned, what did we think of 1,000-Year-Old Vampire?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I know I really like it.
Oh, hell yeah. But this particular session, this playthrough.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a shame how it ended, but it was a good ride.
It was kind of you were unfortunately just you did get out of the early ones quite early, which meant you had a chance of not losing everything, but you did lose everything anyway. You just happened to pick the few on the later ones that happened to make you lose everything.
Yeah,
because the early ones help you get a lot of resources and skills. You just get like a lot of bad events happen to your character. Like the skills you get are like bloodthirsty, ashamed, pitiful. The resources you'll get are like stationary resources in places, or you'll be sent far away and then I'll have an opportunity to build up a new identity and stuff like that.
But we simply went down to London town and then just stayed there for ages.
Yeah, you just killed people.
Jail Satan, first name, second name, Godric Astley, and Cain Neemborn.
Yeah, you were ready to pick a new name and just died beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like walk out of the plague like, oh boy, I bet today's going to be a great day. Death.
Oh, I can't wait to build my ritual circle and reconnect with my.
It's a beautiful day to walk down the road, and if I have stopped singing, I will explode. Hey, Neemborn, what have you done?
Anyway.
Oh, it's nice.
Anyways, yes. Well, if you liked this video, hit that like button. If you very much like this video and want to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. We upload episodes of the series Reading Homestuck every Monday or Tuesday, depending on your time zone, and other things such as this every Thursday or Friday, depending. Well, not every. On Thursdays or Fridays.
Thursdays.
Or Fridays, depending on your time zone. It has been quite a few hours. My brain is a little less functional.
This is probably going to be maybe 2-3 episodes, I'd imagine.
It might be 2 or 3 parts, or I might just upload it as one big video like I did with the tier list video, which is also something that was uploaded on a Thursday or Friday. We upload just stuff on these days. Fun things.
I think it would be wise to do it as separate episodes, because otherwise you're going to have to do a lot of editing all in one go, but we'll see what happens.
We shall definitely see what happens. But yes, do suggest in the comments any games that you think you would like to see us play.
Yeah.
As well, that's something you can also do. Because we have a few that we might want to do, but you know, it's not an all-inclusive, extensive list. You know, we might want to add some stuff to that. You can also follow me on Tumblr, where I post things sometimes. You can, you know, send asks, DM, I don't know, just stuff. I'm there. I'm also on Blue Sky now, which is a thing. I still don't know if I'm going to stick around there, because nothing's happening. So this is a tentative, I'm there currently.
Isn't there anyone who cares about Sid the Sloth?
You can also follow June on Tumblr and Instagram. Sadly, June is not here to establish what she is doing on those platforms, but things are happening. There are uploads going on the Instagram. So you can go check that out. And you can also follow Arthur on Twitch.
My audio is desynced. For some reason, it desynced not like long ago, like literally about a minute ago. It just desynced.
I'll deal with that.
Okay.
So you can resync it when we say bye, I guess, because we'll all say that at the same time. But yeah, as for Twitch, I will eventually get back to doing that. There was kind of a break for New Year, and I haven't re-picked it back up. because I've been dealing with job-based stuff. But once I get the opportunity, I will pick that stuff back up, and I plan to do Amori and other RPGs like that. But I mean, at the minute, tabletop RPG, this sort of Dicey Deeds is going to be my main way of interacting with content and the channel and stuff like that.
Nice.
Indeed. Very nice. And Mason, do you have anything to say at the end of this video?
No, I don't have anything to promote presently, so use the energy you would have used following my stuff to follow everybody else's stuff.
Or to, again, suggest some other games.
Yes, indeed.
That
Please.
play here on Dicey Deeds' working title.
Anything you want to give a suggestion, or you want to tell us about how your day's going?
What might you want to seize? Arthur, what are you doing with your fucking glasses right now?
Scratching the side of my head.
I see. And we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.